Hello everybody, this is Granny. Today we're going on a road trip, and like every road trip, we have to stop at Ronald's first and get some liquid refreshment.
Deley, you want?
Yep.
We're headed to eastern Washington to get out of the rain.
Welcome to McDonald's. How can I help you?
I'd like a large sweet tea and a large Coke.
Anything else?
No.
Have a seat at the window. Thank you.
I know, lots of calories, but it'll be water for the rest of the day.
Something might be in this crowd somewhere.
We thought we
I
might
don't
see a
know
friend
that
of
I'd
ours heading
recognize
home
his
from his
rig if
trip.
it was.
Oh, I
He went to
his
eastern
truck.
Washington for the Memorial
That
Day
ain't
weekend.
necessarily what he does. Probably takes the motor over here.
We found a comfortable spot. We're on Interstate 90 now. Did you know that Interstate 90 was the longest interstate in the United States? It's over 3,000 miles long and reaches from Seattle, Washington to Boston, Massachusetts. We'll be going across the Cascade Mountain Range using the Snoqualmie Pass. Snoqualmie Pass gets over 400 inches of annual snowfall. And all that snowfall makes it a great place to go ski.
First aid training, yeah. They built the stuff like that.
Could be the one needing the first aid.
My husband can remember going to eastern Washington using the old Highway 10. The interstate highway has only been here since 1969. Parts of the old Highway 10 are still there, and we'll catch one of them on our way home. We always stop up here to use the restroom and let the dogs out for a minute.
Yeah, they're building a lot of them. There used to be any of this stuff when we came up here.
Huh?
There didn't used to be any of this stuff.
Lake Ketchless.
This is Lake Ketchless. They've been doing a lot of improvements to the freeway, and the freeway used to go around the lake, and now it goes through it.
Sure looks different.
Huh?
It sure looks different.
You got water in it, yeah.
I mean, the highway in the relationship to the lake and all
Oh,
that
yeah.
looks so much different.
The highway used to skim the edge of the lake, and now it goes through it. The idea has been to move the road back away from the mountain, since some people were injured by falling rocks. They're just trying to make it safer.
I'm also curious to see what they've done, if they've done anything more to that Animal Crossing thing.
The what?
That Animal Crossing?
Oh, yeah, right down here.
Yeah. No, it doesn't look a lot different.
This is it right here, isn't it?
Yes. There's going to be a second one. I think it's going to go over this other highway that they're still building.
I don't understand the theory here, but
Well, they're going to build it out
and up.
and up. Yeah, that's just the part that the cars go through. The part where the animals walk over is going to be much higher. They'll be walking over the top of it.
Indian John Hill. What do you know about Indian John?
Not very much.
He got a whole hill named after him.
About the only thing that I could find out about Indian John was he was a Kittitas Indian who lived in the area with his family, and that he's buried somewhere near the Indian John rest areas, him and his family. Whether John was his real name, I don't know. The American settlers had a way of, when they couldn't pronounce the difficult Indian names, they would pick a name that was easier for them to understand and to pronounce, and they would call the person that. Now, as we come down off this high elevation, we'll begin to lose these large trees, and the lower and lower we get into the Columbia Basin, there really are basically no tall trees at all that haven't been planted there or haven't been cultivated. Wherever we are right now is called Elk Heights, and it's called that because you often see elks grazing here. Now we're going to make another one of our normal stops when we make this trip. We like to stop at Thorpe's and check to see what kind of fruits they have in season. Well, I sent my husband in by himself today, and I stayed outside with the dogs. And come to find out, gosh darn it, the best fruit they had was saltwater taffy. Well, as you can see here, the wind has picked up and the storm clouds are beginning to move in. I think our plan's not working too well. Now here you can see the Wild Horse Wind and Solar Facility. They have 149 turbines that all produce 273 megawatts of electricity each. They lease this area on Whiskey Dick Mountain, and part of the mountain is assigned to L.T. Murray Wildlife Area, and it's owned by the Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife. It's a great place to go hunting and fishing and camping and wildlife watching. You can watch birds and wildflowers. Later on in this trip, we saw some beautiful wildflowers in this area.
Okay, now we're down at the bottom of the hill. We're in the Columbia Basin. And straight ahead is the Columbia River and the Vantage Bridge.
Over here is the famous hamburger, right?
Our favorite place to eat a hamburger. Buster's. Hamburgers and milkshakes. And down there, oh, you can't see it, is the Wampum Dam.
The dam was named in honor of the Wampum Indians that lived along the river from Vantage to
Straight ahead
Pasco.
are the Saddle Mountains. You still going to turn right?
No, I'm not. I'm thinking about getting some dinner.
Okay. You're hungry. Okay. Now the Saddle Mountains are a very ancient range. That's why they look kind of worn down. That's because they are.
Whenever I start trying to understand the geology of this area, it just kind of gives me a headache. It's beyond comprehension sometimes. What I've read about this mountain range is that it's at least 13 million years old.
So I think she's stuck down in the step there.
Bonnie was beginning to get a little nervous. She's getting old and a little bit clumsy, so she keeps falling down into the side where the step is to get into the van. This is the Wild Horse Monument that you see up on the mountain ridge there. The horses were created by a Native American, and it was intended to be a much larger installation, but the funding never became available. But I think it's beautiful just the way it is.
Now we're coming into Moses Lake, Washington. This golf course in the park. The road work is he's putting down cones. Here's the RV park. There's the lake.
This is just a small portion of the lake.
Part of it.
The lake consists of 3 main arms that are up to 18 miles long and up to 1 mile wide, and is the largest natural body of fresh water in Grant County.
Moses Lake is
and has over
pretty easy to
120
find
miles
your way
of
around
shoreline.
the main drag is kind of a big horseshoe that loops off of I-90 and then loops right back on. We lived outside of town here for about 4 years. So every time we come, we see new things. Wow. Buddy, there's a car next to you.
Somebody got to give up.
Somebody's... Hey, this guy wants out. There's a taco time right here that we used to go to a lot.
Do what?
There's a taco time right there.
Yeah, I know.
There we go.
You want a taco?
Well, I know you like them. And there's a lot of the different things up there on, okay, taco.
What do you taco do?
There's your old vet, Bonnie. Where we bought our first RV. Well, not our first one. We bought the second one there. The one we liked. That we should never have gotten rid of. You know, it'd be paid off by now.
I would have limited it to.
Well, we got our tacos, and now we're headed someplace to rest for the night and let the dogs out so they can run around and they can rest too.
Onions.
Onions. Lots and lots of onions. Wow. Lots of onions.
You like onions? There they are.
Tune into my next video to find out where we spent the night and what we saw the next day.